My name is Dr. David Benversing. I'd like to share with you the most common causes of spinal osteoarthritis. Now, first off, there's two main things that we're looking at. We have either typically a major trauma or a minor trauma. What I mean by that major trauma is we have either an auto accident, some type of major sports injury, a major fall, something along those lines. When we're talking about the minor trauma, these are things that you do typically on a repetitive basis, maybe on a daily basis, as far as possibly maybe twisting, bending, and lifting something up, bad posture, things along those lines. Now, the actual cause of that osteoarthritis isn't necessarily that initial trauma. What happens when we have those traumas is our body goes through three phases of healing. The first phase is the inflammation phase, then we have the repair phase, and then lastly we have the regeneration phase. And the inflammation phase, obviously the inflammation, we're going to have a lot of pain and inflammation, but the most important phase that we're talking about with osteoarthritis is the repair phase. So during that repair phase, our body naturally starts to lay down or generate this collagen, and a lot of times people will refer to this collagen as scar tissue. Now, if we are not receiving some type of a physical medicine such as chiropractic or physical therapy when our body is going through this phase of healing, that collagen or that scar tissue that our body's going to be laying down is going to be very weak. It's going to not be as flexible as it should be. It's going to be a lot more sensitive, and it's going to also be able to generate much more pain than what it should be as well. So a lot of times when we have osteoarthritis, it comes from someone not receiving the physical medicine that they needed to when they were going through that phase of care or that phase of healing. Now, when that scar tissue gets laid down, that a lot of times will cause abnormal motion in either that joint or the joints right around that area. Now, it's the continuous abnormal motion over time that causes those areas, as far as the disc and also the bones and the nerves, sort of wear down in those areas. And that's what we see as far as our major cause of osteoarthritis in the spine. Now, the typical symptoms that we see in our office with patients coming in with osteoarthritis is we see pain, we'll see a decrease in range of motion in that area, and we're also going to see spinal or muscle spasms and tightness in those areas as well. And a lot of times when we have those three symptoms going on, it's going to affect a lot of things that they're doing throughout the day. One of the most important things that's going to affect is their work, their ability to work. Not only their ability for how long they're able to work without pain, but also the performance and be able to work at their top performance, so to speak. The next thing that's going to affect that we typically see in our office is our ability to more or less do our activities or daily living, or what we call our ADLs. And what I mean by that is typically just our personal hygiene and things along those lines, as far as being able to walk throughout the day, to be able to shower, to be able to put on our clothes and get dressed, to be able to bend down to our toes, put shirts on, things along those lines. And lastly, it can also affect our ability to sleep. And what I mean by that, it can decrease our ability to fall asleep, and it can also decrease our ability to stay asleep. And also it'll, with those two in mind, it'll also decrease the quality of our sleep, which is a very important thing that we need to be able to have. So those are the most common causes of osteoarthritis that we see in our office. If you're in pain, we'd love to help you. Please give our office a call at 618-519-9334.